The New Orleans Pelicans came in as one of the hottest offenses in the NBA, and they gave the Jazz a lesson, blasting the Jazz to a score of 153 points, the most ever in Pelicans history. We're talking about what happened next on Jazz Basketball.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to POSTCAST. David Locke along with Ron Boone as the Utah Jazz lose 153 to 124 coming into the game. It was the number 2 offense in the last 10 games, the Pelicans against the number 3 offense in the last 10 games, the Jazz, 2 of the hottest offenses in the NBA. We combined for 277 points. I said at one point we're going to go over 270 tonight or 280 tonight. We didn't quite make it. 153 of those from the Pelicans. They put 34 on the board in the first quarter, 43 on the board in the second quarter. I can't do the math, so I have to look over here. 38 in the third and 38 in the fourth. Wow.
There was no letting up. That second quarter, I think, really did the Jazz in to the point where, as well as they were shooting the basketball, there was not going to be the Jazz just probably was not going to be able to come back.
So that is kind of the moment to me. Like the Jazz was standing early. It's 34-30 at the end of one. And the Jazz go down by 14, and then they work it back. And it feels like they're back in the game at some point. And then they never get back. They get to 34-30, and then the Pelicans burst it back out to 12. They stretch it to 15. Next thing you know, it's back down to 10, and you're like, okay, we're working our way. And then before you blink again, Ron, it's 19. And then the Jazz worked it back down kind of to 15. And then before you knew it, it was 18 by the half. And then they blasted the Jazz to open up the third quarter as well. So that second quarter we kind of zero in on because it felt like the Jazz were about to make their little surge into the game the way they have with their depth. And they just didn't get good enough bench play tonight to do that.
Didn't have enough bench playing, plus that they were just shooting the basketball very, very well. I mean, if any team in the NBA, if they're getting the shots that they were able to get tonight, I mean, they're either going to win it or they're going to be in it to win it. It's just that good. I think the shooting, the 3-point shot attempts, the Jazz defense just didn't work tonight. Whatever they were trying to do just didn't work, and the Pelicans really did.
Pelicans did not play Sunday, Monday, or I believe they played Saturday. They played Friday night against Phoenix. They did not play Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So they came into this fresh and ready off 3 days of practice. That was clear. Zion WIlliamson tonight, 11 assists, Ron, a career high. What was he doing to create the offense for the Pelicans?
Some of our little film sessions that we watched on the plane. He seemed to be deferring a lot more because most of the defense are geared to stop who? Zion WIlliamson. So when it just seemed like he's gotten so used to now I can distribute this basketball and
Mr. We're not hearing Mr. Boone. We can't hear Mr. Boone on the show. They're telling me.
Right.
Can you make it so we can hear Ron?
Hello, 1, 2,
Let's see.
3.
Ron is back now, they said.
Okay.
All right.
The difference is, okay, NBA teams, if you have a team that can't shoot, then you're in trouble. This Pelicans team tonight had good looks, and they were making shots. Awfully hard to beat a team when they're doing that. Zion seemed to defer early in the ball game. He was trying to score. Obviously, it was people they were making shots, and he ended up with, what did you say, 11 assists. And it wasn't like he wasn't in the ball game. He just wasn't attacking as much as we're so used to seeing. And if he's their point guard, he got it done tonight.
They really made a change. They've basically turned C.J. McCollum into a shooting guard. He's one of the 43% from three. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA. He's a great spot-up player. He's not a great pick-and-roll player. He's fine. He's not great at it. And so they really play Zion Williamson as the point guard, initiating the offense, and then when Zion's out and CJ's out, it's Dyson Daniels or somebody else. But that has freed C.J. McCollum to become 33 points a game, 9 of 13 from 3, 11 of 17 from the field tonight. I mean, he was a dominating force, and it was sometimes in transition, but a lot of times it was off these assists from Zion Williamson where the defense is collapsing, and that's your weak side shooter is C.J. McCollum, and if that's your weak side shooter, that's pretty potent.
That's awesome, and the type of looks that he had tonight makes it awfully easy for team to score. Don't forget Herb Jones shot the basketball very well from the corner, and it was just, and then you got the mid-range game of Ingram. Now, you're seeing more and more of point forwards in this league, where guys that are your forwards, guys, teams don't have that point guard, but they have that point forward. LeBron James and Anthony Mason. How about that? Way back in the day when it started. So you use your best player like that, and use him in a situation like that, you can get some good results.
One thing that's interesting about this game statistically, two things that went abnormally. Pelicans only shoot 33% of their shots as threes. They shot 46 of their 104 shots as threes tonight, so they did something differently tonight. They were hot. That might have been part of it.
Took 46 of them.
Yeah, 46 of them. The other one is that the Jazz are the number one offensive rebounding team in the NBA, and the Jazz only had, six offensive rebounds all game tonight off of 50 misses, off 49 misses. So they completely took away one aspect of what the Jazz do, which is their offensive rebound.
Yeah, you put the ball in the basket, there is no offensive rebounds, and that really happened tonight. It's awfully tough to get those offensive rebounds if teams are, but your defense has to get better. If the defense doesn't get better, we might, see another ball game like that.
All right, so 3 losses in a row, none of them stunning, right? Losing to Oklahoma City's not stunning. Losing to Houston in overtime on the road, not stunning. They weren't favored. Losing tonight, not stunning. The margin and the magnitude of the scoring, a little stunning. We head to Washington and Charlotte, 2 teams where the Jazz should be able to right the ship a little bit. How concerning are you at all concerned about this 3-game losing streak, that some of the mojo, the momentum, maybe by the tragic incident with the Golden State Warriors where the Jazz just suddenly their schedule got broken from what they expected, but that the momentum has been broken a little bit?
I'm just a little hesitant while you were saying that. I was a little hesitant of pointing in that direction. That we'll wait and see what happens. We got 3 more games on this road trip, 4 more games on this road trip, and we still have a good chance of winning a couple and possibly 3 on this trip. And then maybe you can say maybe they're broken here a little bit. But tonight's ball game, you're going to run into a hot team like this on the road. Winnable basketball game, I thought, in Houston. Comes down to one little missed shot there with a few seconds left on the clock. Oklahoma City, a very good basketball team, coming to the Jazz arena and beat them. I'm going to judge on whether or not they're broken here in the next 3 or 4 ball games.
Jazz playing the Washington Wizards, Charlotte Hornets. The Knicks were playing well. The Brooklyn Nets before that.
Washington's only won 7 ball games.
Yes, so the next 2, I think the Jazz will likely be favored going into both those games. Charlotte got a nice win against Karl Anthony Towns and Minnesota last night that had Chris Finch snap. But that is certain.
You got to remember, the Pelicans are leading their division. In that division is the Dallas Mavericks and teams like that are considered to be very, very good. Oklahoma City, very good team, one of the best teams in the league right now. Young team as well. So you really can't say that they're broken right now.
I think the Pelicans are really good, and the data on the Pelicans over the last 20 games is they're one of the hottest teams in the league. I mean, they lost badly to Phoenix the other night. They've had some bad losses. But no, this Pelicans team I think is legit. I don't think you want to play them in a playoff series right now if you're somebody. I think there's a real chance they could walk their way up to 4th in the Western Conference before it's done. I believe since Larry Nance came back and they've been at full strength, I believe they're 9-4 now. So they're playing well. We said it. This is a team that comes in with the 9th best defense in the NBA, and over the last 10 games is the 2nd best offense in the league. Like, that's a pretty potent combo. No, Jazz got whopped today by a really good basketball team who played well and was fresh. Yeah.
So now they're 7-3 in the last 10. So
we'll still take that, right?
I'm talking about the Pelicans.
We might be 6-4 in the last 10 now.
Yeah. Their next ball games are Oklahoma City, and then they go out on the road for Milwaukee, Boston, Houston, San Antonio.
Guess we'll find out a little bit. We'll see what they get when they get to Milwaukee. Jazz offense was fine tonight. Defense, Tim Lacombe said point of attack defense. Is that what you would agree with?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yes. Yeah, very good assessment of that.
All right. Do you have any stars to give out tonight?
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do. I would go Simone. 5 season high.
Yeah, let's go with Simone.
24 minutes, 18 points. Plus minus on everyone's going to be bad tonight.
It's going to be bad on everyone. I'd say Simone.
Colin Sexton had 7 assists and 22 points. Do you give him any love, even though he's minus 15?
We can give him a lot of love. We can go Simone and Colin Sexton, but I don't see anyone that made an impact in a quarter. I mean, it was just a steady ball game for Simone, a steady ball game there for Colin Sexton, which is good, but no one made an impact in a quarter or something.
You have been nominated for a star tonight because you've earned your nerd card.
Really?
Because you wanted to know whether the 141 offensive rating that the Pelicans had was the highest against us all season. The final number, by the way, was the Pelicans' offensive rating tonight was a 145.7. 145.7 is the 6th best offensive performance by any team all season long. Boston against Sacramento, Denver against Houston, Indiana against Miami, Boston against the Clippers, Phoenix against Minnesota, and now New Orleans against Utah is the 6th highest offensive performance of any team in any game all year long tonight.
So you got Boston in there twice.
Tells you a lot about Boston. Yeah. All right, that wraps us up. Thank you very much for tuning in to Postcast tonight. Jazz fall to the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans score a franchise record 153 points on a night where they were really, really good. Have a great night. We will now send you the first ever. Oh, no, actually, we won't tonight because I forgot to set it up. Have a great night. See you later.